Princess Diana's death shocked the world, but was it really just a tragic accident? Decades later, new evidence and chilling confessions are reigniting questions about what truly happened that fateful night. From a mysterious letter predicting her own death to conspiracy theories that refuse to fade, Diana's story is as haunting as it is inspiring. Was she silenced, or was it merely a tragic twist of fate? Stay tuned as we uncover the untold truths behind her life and death. On the evening of August 30, 1997, Princess Diana and her partner Dodi Fayed were at the Ritz Hotel in Paris. The couple had been trying to escape the paparazzi, who had been relentlessly following them. By midnight, they decided to leave the hotel, hoping to avoid attention by using the back entrance. Their driver, Henri Paul, was in charge of getting them to an apartment. Alongside them was Trevor Rees-Johns, their bodyguard. As soon as they left, the paparazzi were quick to follow. Reports say that several photographers were on motorcycles, chasing the couple's black Mercedes through the streets of Paris. The pursuit became chaotic. Henri Paul began speeding to outrun the photographers. Witnesses say the car was traveling dangerously fast when it entered the Alma tunnel. Moments later, it collided with a pillar. The crash was devastating. Diana and Dodi were critically injured, while Henri Paul died on impact. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, and Diana was taken to a hospital. Despite their efforts, she passed away in the early hours of August 31. The tragic events shocked the world. Millions mourned the loss of the people's princess. But as the details of that night unfolded, many began asking questions. Why was the car speeding so recklessly? Was the paparazzi's pursuit solely to blame? And most chillingly, was it possible her death wasn't an accident at all? This was only the beginning of a story filled with rumors, investigations, and heartbreaking revelations. The Alma tunnel in Paris became the center of global attention after Diana's crash. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic and overwhelming. Emergency workers arrived quickly, but the injuries were severe. Diana was still alive when paramedics found her. She was rushed to the hospital, but her injuries were too critical. The crash investigation revealed shocking details. Henri Paul, the driver, had a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit. This raised immediate questions about his state of mind and why he was allowed to drive. Additionally, none of the passengers, except for the bodyguard, were wearing seat belts. This fact alone could have made a difference in the outcome. As these findings were made public, the media frenzy grew. The paparazzi who had been chasing the car faced intense scrutiny. Many blamed them for Diana's death, arguing their relentless pursuit created a dangerous situation. However, some argued that the real fault lay with Henri Paul's reckless driving. While the official explanation pointed to a tragic mix of human error and reckless behavior, others weren't convinced. Was it a simple accident, or was there more to the story? Some began to believe that Diana's death was the result of something far more sinister. Over the years, this tunnel has become a symbol of tragedy and mystery. People continue to visit the site to pay their respects, leaving flowers and messages. But even now, the questions remain. Was this an unavoidable accident, or were there forces at play that no one could see? Princess Diana and Prince Charles seemed like the perfect couple. Their wedding in 1981 was watched by millions around the world and was called the wedding of the century. But behind the glamour, their relationship was far from perfect. Even before they married, Diana suspected that Charles wasn't fully committed to her. His long-standing relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles created tension from the very beginning. Diana once famously said that there were 3 of us in this marriage, referring to Camilla. The love triangle deeply affected Diana's mental health. She often felt lonely and isolated within the royal family. Despite her efforts to make the marriage work, Charles's emotional distance and attachment to Camilla made it nearly impossible. Diana's struggles weren't just private, they became public knowledge. Her 1995 BBC interview shocked the world as she spoke openly about her unhappy marriage and her struggles with mental health. she admitted to feeling unimportant and unloved, despite being adored by millions. This love triangle not only shaped Diana's personal life, but also fueled the media's obsession with her. Every glance, every word, and every move she made was analyzed and dissected. This constant scrutiny contributed to her feeling trapped and overwhelmed. Even after her divorce from Charles in 1996, the shadow of this love triangle lingered. It wasn't just a personal heartbreak for Diana, it became a symbol of her struggles as she tried to navigate life as a royal, a mother, and a woman who wanted to find her own identity. But Diana's story didn't end with her divorce. Instead, she began to transform herself, becoming a voice for those who couldn't speak out. Behind her radiant smile, Princess Diana faced challenges few people could imagine. She battled depression, feelings of isolation, and an overwhelming sense of loneliness. Her life as a royal was far from the fairy tale the public believed it to be. Diana openly admitted to struggling with mental health. She suffered from bulimia, a disorder that she once described as a way of coping with the stress and rejection she felt in her marriage. In her own words, she explained how this illness was a cry for help. One particularly shocking story involved an incident when Diana was pregnant with Prince William. In a moment of deep despair, she threw herself down a staircase. She later said she hoped this act would make Charles notice her pain. Instead, his reaction was cold and distant, leaving her feeling more alone than ever. Her struggles extended beyond her marriage. Being constantly in the public eye took a toll on her. She was followed relentlessly by the media, with every aspect of her life scrutinized. The pressure to be the perfect royal wife, mother, and public figure became almost unbearable. Despite her personal battles, Diana began to find her strength. She decided to use her platform to speak about issues that were often ignored, such as mental health and humanitarian crises. By doing so, she transformed her pain into a source of purpose. Diana's courage to speak openly about her struggles was revolutionary at the time. She showed the world that even someone as glamorous and admired as a princess could face the same challenges as anyone else. This honesty made her relatable and beloved by millions. But as Diana found her voice, she also began to fear for her safety, a fear that would later take on a haunting significance. One of the most chilling revelations about Princess Diana's life came after her death, a handwritten letter she wrote predicting her own demise. In this letter, Diana expressed fears that she might die in a staged car accident. She believed there were people who wanted her silenced because of the influence she held and the truths she might reveal. The letter, written in 1995, was addressed to her trusted former butler, Paul Burrell. In it, Diana claimed that her life was in danger and described feeling targeted by powerful individuals. She believed these threats were tied to her separation from Prince Charles and her increasing independence. This letter gained significant attention when it was made public years later. Many saw it as evidence of foul play, while others dismissed it as paranoia caused by the immense pressure she faced. However, its existence reignited debates about the circumstances surrounding her death. The question remains, was Diana's fear justified? At the time, she was one of the most famous women in the world. Her humanitarian work and outspoken views made her a powerful figure. Some believe these qualities also made her a threat to certain establishments. Diana's letter is a haunting reminder of how deeply she feared for her life. Whether her death was a tragic accident or something more sinister, the existence of this letter adds a layer of mystery that continues to fuel speculation. This wasn't the only clue that suggested Diana felt unsafe. Her close confidants revealed other alarming moments when Diana voiced concerns about being watched and controlled. These fears only add to the mystery of her untimely death, leaving the world to wonder, was Diana silenced, or was it all a tragic coincidence? Paul Burrell, Diana's former butler, played a significant role in keeping her memory alive, but not without controversy. Burrell worked closely with Diana for over a decade, and their relationship went beyond employer and employee. Diana often confided in him, sharing her deepest fears and thoughts. After Diana's death, Burrell became a polarizing figure. He revealed intimate details about her life in books and interviews, claiming his goal was to protect her legacy. However, his actions didn't sit well with the royal family, who accused him of profiting from Diana's memory. One of Burrell's most shocking claims was that Diana believed her life was in danger. He supported this with the letter she wrote, predicting her death in a staged car crash. Burrell insisted that Diana was convinced powerful figures wanted her out of the way because of her growing independence and influence. In 2002, Burrell faced legal trouble when he was accused of stealing items belonging to Diana. Police found over 300 items at his home, including letters and personal belongings. Burrell argued that Diana had asked him to keep these items safe. Surprisingly, the case was dropped after Queen Elizabeth II intervened, revealing that Burrell had informed her about holding on to Diana's possessions. Despite being acquitted, Burrell's reputation suffered. Critics accused him of exploiting his connection to Diana for fame and fortune. However, his supporters argue that he shed light on truths that might have otherwise been buried. Burrell's explosive claims continue to keep Diana's story alive. Whether he acted out of loyalty or self-interest remains debated, but his revelations add to the complex and mysterious narrative surrounding Diana's life and death. The paparazzi's relentless pursuit of Princess Diana played a significant role in the events leading up to her tragic death. For years, Diana was hounded by photographers wherever she went. Her every move was captured and sold to the highest bidder, fueling a media frenzy that often invaded her privacy. On the night of her death, several paparazzi were chasing Diana's car through the streets of Paris. Reports suggest they were on motorcycles, determined to get exclusive photographs of Diana and Dodi Fayed. Their aggressive pursuit put immense pressure on the driver, Henri Paul, who was reportedly speeding to evade them. When the crash occurred, the paparazzi were among the first to arrive at the scene. Instead of helping the victims, many continued taking photos. These images were later leaked to tabloids, sparking outrage from the public. People accused the paparazzi of valuing profit over human life. The role of the paparazzi in Diana's death led to widespread criticism of the media. Many believed their relentless pursuit created the dangerous circumstances that caused the crash. However, others argued that the ultimate blame lay with Henri Paul, who was driving under the influence. In the years following Diana's death, there were calls for stricter regulations on paparazzi and media behavior. Diana's tragic end became a turning point, forcing the public to question the ethics of tabloid journalism and its impact on public figures. The paparazzi's role in Diana's death remains one of the most controversial aspects of her story. While they didn't directly cause the crash, their actions highlighted the darker side of fame and the devastating consequences of a media culture obsessed with celebrities. After Diana's death, French authorities launched an extensive investigation into the crash. Their findings pointed to a combination of reckless driving, high speeds, and the influence of alcohol. Henri Paul, the driver, was found to have a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit, which impaired his judgment. The report also highlighted the fact that Diana, Dodi Fayed, and Henri Paul were not wearing seatbelts at the time of the crash. Experts argued that wearing seatbelts could have saved their lives, or at least reduced the severity of their injuries. The investigation concluded that the crash was caused by Henri Paul's intoxication and the paparazzi's aggressive pursuit. However, not everyone was satisfied with this explanation. Many believed that key details were missing and questioned the thoroughness of the investigation. In 2004, a separate inquest was launched in the United Kingdom. The findings, released in 2008, supported the French report, stating that Diana's death was the result of grossly negligent driving by Henri Paul, along with the dangerous behavior of the pursuing paparazzi. Despite these conclusions, conspiracy theories persisted. Critics of the investigation pointed to inconsistencies in the evidence, such as missing CCTV footage and conflicting witness statements. Some claimed that the official narrative was an attempt to cover up the involvement of powerful individuals. The official investigation provided answers, but it also left lingering doubts. For many, the question wasn't just about how Diana died, but why her life ended so suddenly. Was it really just a tragic accident, or was there something more sinister behind the scenes? These unanswered questions have kept the mystery alive for decades. Diana's death has been surrounded by conspiracy theories since the day it happened. Many believe that her death was not an accident, but a carefully orchestrated plan to silence her. These theories stem from Diana's growing independence and her willingness to challenge traditional royal norms. One of the most popular theories suggests that Diana was eliminated by the British establishment. According to this theory, certain individuals feared that Diana's relationship with Dodi Fayed could tarnish the image of the royal family. Some even speculated that she was pregnant with Dodi's child, which would have created a scandal. Another theory focuses on the role of MI6, the British intelligence agency. Some claim that Diana's car was sabotaged, or that she was deliberately led into a dangerous situation. These allegations have never been proven, but they continue to fuel debates about the true cause of her death. Diana's letter predicting her own death is often cited as evidence for these theories. In the letter, she wrote about her fears of a staged car accident. For conspiracy theorists, this letter is seen as a warning that was tragically ignored. While investigations have dismissed these claims, the lack of concrete evidence has left room for speculation. Supporters of these theories argue that the truth has been hidden to protect powerful individuals or institutions. The conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death reflect the deep connection people felt with her. They also reveal the public's mistrust of official narratives, particularly when it comes to figures as influential as Diana. Whether these theories hold any truth or not, they have become an enduring part of her story. While much of Diana's life was marked by personal struggles, her humanitarian work became her greatest legacy. She used her global platform to bring attention to issues that were often ignored, earning her the title of the People's Princess. One of Diana's most memorable acts of compassion occurred in 1987. At a time when misinformation and fear about HIV/AIDS were rampant, Diana made headlines by shaking hands with an AIDS patient without wearing gloves. This simple act challenged the stigma surrounding the disease and showed the world her deep empathy. Diana was also a passionate advocate against landmines. In 1997, she visited Angola and walked through an active minefield to raise awareness about the dangers of landmines. Her efforts brought international attention to the issue and helped pave the way for the Ottawa Treaty, which banned the use of landmines worldwide. Her humanitarian work wasn't just about grand gestures. Diana often visited hospitals, homeless shelters, and children's homes, connecting personally with those in need. Her ability to relate to everyday people made her a symbol of hope and kindness. Even after her death, Diana's legacy continues to inspire. Her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, have carried on her charitable efforts, supporting causes like mental health, conservation, and children's welfare. Diana's compassion and bravery in the face of adversity left an indelible mark on the world. While her life ended tragically, her humanitarian work ensures that her memory lives on as a beacon of love and humanity. Diana's unique connection with the public earned her the title the People's Princess. Unlike other royals, she was approachable, relatable, and deeply empathetic. She wasn't afraid to show vulnerability, which made her beloved by millions around the world. Diana's focus on her role as a mother also set her apart. She prioritized giving Prince William and Prince Harry a sense of normalcy, often breaking royal traditions to do so. Whether it was taking them to amusement parks or standing with them in difficult times, Diana's love for her sons was evident in everything she did. Her ability to connect with people went beyond her royal duties. Diana often engaged with individuals on a personal level, whether they were patients in hospitals or fans who waited hours just to catch a glimpse of her. She made everyone feel seen and valued. This relatability extended to her public image. Diana wasn't afraid to speak about her struggles, including her mental health and the challenges of being a royal. Her honesty resonated with people, making her a symbol of strength and resilience. Diana's tragic death only deepened her connection with the public. The outpouring of grief that followed showed just how much she meant to people. Her funeral was watched by an estimated 2.5 billion people worldwide, cementing her status as a global icon. Diana's legacy as the people's princess goes beyond her title. She represented hope, compassion, and a willingness to challenge outdated traditions. Even decades after her death, her influence continues to shape the royal family and inspire people around the world. Princess Diana's death remains one of the most debated events in modern history. While official investigations have concluded that her death was a tragic accident, lingering questions and conspiracy theories keep the mystery alive. Was Diana's death the result of reckless driving and paparazzi pursuit, or was there more to the story? The resurfaced letter, Burrell's claims, and unanswered questions about the crash continue to fuel speculation. Beyond the theories, Diana's story is one of resilience, compassion, and enduring legacy. Her impact on the world, both during her life and after her death, is undeniable. She transformed the role of royalty, showing that vulnerability and authenticity could create a deeper connection with people. As the world reflects on Diana's life, her story serves as a reminder of the power of humanity. Whether her death was an accident or something more, Diana's legacy lives on. Her bravery, kindness, and unwavering dedication to helping others will forever inspire those who seek to make a difference. What do you think? Was Diana's death simply a tragic accident, or is there more to uncover? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about the lives of history's most fascinating figures.